Steve Jobs is one such icon, an American inventor, designer, and entrepreneur who was the co-founder, chief executive, and chairman of the Apple computer, whose innovations changed the evolution of modern technology. Apple was the first publicly traded company to achieve a market capitalization of $1 trillion on the 30th of April 2019, and it is in no small part connected to the legacy and lessons learned from Steve Jobs. The story of his rise is intertwined with the story of Apple as a company. Along with some twists along the way, his vision was clear. In his own words, "I want to put a ding in the universe." Jobs was born on February the 24th, 1955 in San Francisco, California. As an infant, he was adopted by Clara and Paul Jobs. He always considered them to be his real parents. His father encouraged him to experiment with electronics in their garage. This led to a lifelong interest in electronics and design. Jobs attended a local school in Mountain View, where they lived. Later, the area became known as Silicon Valley. He struggled with formal education, but he had excellent test results. He wasn't your average kid. He was born a genius. His teachers suggested he skip several grades, but his parents rejected it. After high school, he enrolled at Reed College, Portland, Oregon, but he soon found the classes boring and he dropped out. In 1974, Jobs traveled to India in search of spiritual enlightenment. In India, where he became aware of Buddhist, Zen, and Eastern spiritual philosophy, he later commented that his 7 months in India was instrumental in giving him a wider perspective on life and business. Upon his return, he got a job at a video game manufacturing company, Atari. He also came to know Steve Wozniak well, the computer technician, whom he had first met in 1971 at Hewlett-Packard when he had a summer job. They became partners and co-founded Apple in 1976 and began making computers in Jobs' garage. Jobs was just 21 years old at that time. The Apple Corporation was named after Jobs' favorite fruit. Jobs controlled the business side of Apple and managed to convince investors to invest in the company. Soon, they make enough money to move out of the garage and for Wozniak to work on the next version called Apple II. In 1984, the Apple Macintosh was invented. As Apple's success grew in the 80s, Jobs asked Pepsi CEO John Sculley to come run things. Jobs focused on developing two different computers, Macintosh and Lisa. Ultimately, Lisa was a failure. Tensions ran high within the corporate structure, and Jobs was forced to leave or fired, depending on different versions of the story. Jobs left Apple, but he still possessed unlimited vision and extraordinary passion for his work. In a speech Jobs gave at Stanford University, he said being fired from Apple was the best thing that could have happened to him. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. After leaving Apple, Jobs founded Next Computer, which produced sophisticated workstations for the academic community. After a few years, Next transitioned to software development. In 1996, the company that Jobs started with $7 million was sold to Apple for $429 million. A year after leaving Apple, in 1986, Jobs bought the graphics group, which was later named Pixar, for $10 million. Pixar contracted with Disney to produce a number of animated films, such as Toy Story, which became an instant blockbuster. In 2006, Disney agreed to purchase Pixar in an all-stock transaction worth $7.4 billion. Jobs became the Walt Disney Company's largest single shareholder, owning 7% of the stock. In 1997, a year after Apple's acquisition of Next, Jobs was hired back as an interim CEO, and the company. What happened next to Apple makes it obvious that Jobs had only just started. Under his leadership, Apple had a renaissance in product development. At the 2000 Macworld Expo, Jobs officially dropped the interim modifier from his title at Apple and became permanent CEO. Apple started to branch out and expand, introducing the iMac, iPod, portable music player, iTunes digital music software, the iTunes Store, the iPhone mobile device, the iPad tablet, and the MacBook. Jobs was absolutely dedicated to every detail of his products to make them sleek, user-friendly, with future-facing designs. Within a few years, Apple was the technology that everyone wanted to own. It was Apple that placed the PC on every desk, provided digital tools for design and creativity, and pushed forward the smartphone, which has most definitely changed the ways in which humans think, create, and interact. The success of the products and services provided at Apple retail stores propelled Apple to become the world's most valuable publicly traded company in 2011. Steve Jobs was diagnosed with cancer in 2003. Considering his own spiritualism, he started fighting it with alternative medicine. He underwent surgery in 2004 and had the tumor removed. A few years later, there was a resurgence of the cancer. In January of 2011, Jobs had to take another medical leave of absence. Steve Jobs, the charismatic pioneer of the personal computer revolution, died on October 5th, 2011, at 56 years old. He is survived by his wife, Laureen Powell, and their 3 children. The two were married in a small Buddhist ceremony in Yosemite National Park in 1991 and lived in Woodside, California. He also has a daughter, Lisa Brennan, born in 1987 with his high school girlfriend. Although Jobs only earned $1 a year as CEO of Apple, Jobs held 5,426 million Apple shares with an estimated worth of $8.3 billion, as well as 138 million shares in Disney worth $4.4 billion. Even though he is not a member of the Giving Pledge signed billionaires Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, and there are no hospitals or academic buildings named after him, since he has always preferred to remain private. It is said that he has made anonymous philanthropic donations instead of public givings. Jobs was awarded the National Medal of Technology by President Reagan in 1985. In 2007, he was named Entrepreneur of the Decade in 1989 by the Inc. magazine. In 2007, he was named the most powerful person in business by Fortune magazine. In 2009, he was named CEO of the Decade by Fortune magazine. In 2010, he was ranked number 17 on Forbes' The World's Most Powerful People. In 2012, he was posthumously awarded the Grammy Trustee Award. In 2012, Fortune magazine named him the greatest entrepreneur of our time. In 2013, he was inducted as a Disney legend. In 2017, Steve Jobs Theatre opened at Apple Park. He is quoted as saying, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." He sure lived up to his own advice. His last words were, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." His legacy is one of a kind, and his impact on the world remains unparalleled. Looking back at his incredible journey, we too can say, "Oh wow." Thank you for watching till the end. Please comment, like, share and subscribe for more awesome